Live family, what's up? I want you all to drop a one in the chat when you can hear me and see me okay. I know that there's a little delay between me saying this and you guys actually hearing it. So bear with me just a second. And what I want to do is kind of talk about a business that I don't think I really broke down ever on this channel, and especially since we're going in a new direction. It's the new year. A lot of you all have goals that are money related, your New Year's resolution, and I'm not knocking whatever you resolve to do this year, but I just want to tell you guys my experience with a business, and if you guys got any questions about it and I can answer them, I want to answer them live. If I can't answer them, I'm gonna tell you straight up I don't know. All right, so real quick, drop a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Let me know who you watching this from. I'm gonna tell you guys about a business that I've owned for, I don't want to lie, I want to say for at least 3 years, maybe longer, but a business that I own for like the last 3 years where we earn money by lending other people's money. And I don't have a license, I don't have a degree, I don't have anything like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you too. You guys know I believe in doing legal, ethical, moral business, nothing against God. So I'm not here trying to tell you guys how to finesse or anything like that. All right. So it's a lending business, but it's a specific way that you gotta do the lending business, and it's called the Capital Orchestrator business model. And I pulled up on my screen some of the documents that we have internally on the back end. I can't show you like my EIN number and all my personal information, but what I can do is just tell you guys everything about the business. And then I actually have the my business partner. So I'm gonna tell you guys everything about it. I didn't build it myself. I actually paid someone that became my business partner now to build it for me, and then we just run it. So I'm gonna give it to you both ways. I'm gonna tell you all about it, and then I'm gonna just give you guys my business partner if you want her to be your business partner as well. I think that's square business. So write this down. Save this video if you some way driving. It's called the Capital Orchestrator business model, but the company is a lending company, and you lend money to real estate investors. You lend money to aspiring business owners that want like startup capital, and you lend money to existing businesses that want money to expand. All right, you're not using your money though. There's already lending institutions that have to lend out money. Think about how banks work. Just, crash course for anybody that doesn't know. How do banks make money? They lend money on interest, right? You're not charging interest, but you're helping lending institutions get these customers. And in exchange for you getting the customers, they do all of the work, you get a fee. Now, the number one question I would have is how much money you make, right? So that sounds cool. I can have a legal lending business. I can operate in all 50 states. But I don't want to be working hard for like crumbs. So on average, I can't promise you how much money you'll make. It depends on your hustle and everything like that. So all I can do is give you the averages. 20 to 30 grand a month is the average. Now, could you be below average? Yes. Could you be above average? Absolutely. Could you be average? Yes. But the average says 20 to 30 bands a month. All right. So if your goal is to shoot just to be average, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's what the data says. All right. So if you have questions, drop questions. I'm going to go through what I think are the most important parts, but I don't know what you don't know. So you monetize access, not capital. You don't need millions of dollars. You're not lending out your money. You're controlling who gets funded. So your real product is like access. Does that make sense? Are y'all following me? So capital becomes someone else's problem. Those are your back end partners that have to lend the money and charge interest, or else they go out of business. So it could be JT's lending company where we do lending on to real estate investors, to aspiring business owners, to current business owners that need working capital, or truck drivers want to buy more equipment, more whatever, right? So they could come to you. Now, why would they come to you instead of going to the bank? Is that a fair question? Right? Typically, right, traditional lending companies give them the money faster, right? So it's not no back door. You just, hey, come around here, let me throw you a couple dollars, right? They come to you because you could typically give them the money faster. You can't always give them a better interest rate than the bank. Just being transparent. So think about certain people that couldn't get the money from the bank, or people that say, I need the money quicker than the bank process. That's like the lane that you live in. Does that make sense? All right. So you earn on the volume, not the risk. Your back end lenders carry the default risk, right? You get paid per deal, per origination, or via revenue share. All of this is negotiable. Am I making sense? I'm a country boy from the Carolinas. I'm looking at the live chat when you guys see me over here. And I told you guys I got the operating agreement or the back end documentation of the business here. I can't share my screen because my EIN number, all my personal stuff is on there. So I'm just kicking game here. But talk to me, chat, right? If you're like it's clear as mud, say AJT is clear as mud. I have no idea what we're talking about, and I'll try to say it another way. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm gonna do like how the military told us when I was in the Marines. I'll take your silence as consent. You own a lending company, but you don't have to lend your own money. You partner with lenders on the back end. You get paid on the front end. You don't have any other risk, right? People come to you instead of going to the bank because it's faster, or maybe they just don't qualify for lending through the traditional banks, right? You can't always beat them on interest rate. So I'm telling you guys the good and the bad so you can make an educated decision. All right. And we call it the capital orchestrator model. Somebody else might call it something else. All right. Now, what I love about this is that you profit from every category of borrower. So they could be a real estate flipper, a contractor that's trying to expand their crew and they need some money for that, a truck driver that needs more equipment trying to expand their fleet or whatever, a software founder and they need money to scale up their ads, a content creator or a brand that wants to get into content and they want to buy all of these lights and cameras and screens and all of this other stuff, right? So each vertical becomes its own money pipeline, right? Okay, clear as mud. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Peace, silent night. So I'm gonna say it a different way. Imagine you get paid because you own a business called Peace Silent Night 19 Lending Company, right? So Peace Silent Night 19 Lending Company. You can name whatever you want to. I'm just taking your name from the chat, right? Entrepreneurs and investors, real estate investors, current business owners, aspiring business owners, they come to you because they need money. The real estate investor needs some money to do more deals or to renovate some property. The current entrepreneur say, I need money to run ads, hire more people, buy more stuff for my business. The aspiring business owner say, hey, I need money to start my business. You say, okay, you can apply for funding through Peace Silent Night 19, right? So they come, they apply through you, right? Now on the back end, you don't have to use any of your money. It's lending companies that have to lend out the money because the only way they make money is if they lend out money and make money off the interest the person pays. Similar to how a bank works. You following me so far? Right? So what they're doing is they're paying you because they will go out of business, literally go out of business if they can't make money off of the money, right? So imagine, if you will, if all of us went to a bank, right, and we say, you know what, we're going to take all of our money out of the bank. And anytime we wanted to buy a house, a car, or whatever, what we'll do is we'll put our money together individually. We will buy the car, buy the house, and then the person would pay us back with interest, not the bank. What would happen to the banks over time? Over time, the banks will go out of business because nobody is doing business with them. They can't charge any fees, can't charge any interest, right? You get what I'm saying? Now, of course, that would never happen. Like, people trust banks, credit unions, professional lending institutions, and such like, right? So I'm using that as an example to say they come to you instead of the bank because you might have more lenient qualifications than the bank. Not all the time, but sometimes, right? Why? Because your lenders gotta lend out the money. Because if they don't charge any interest, and they don't make any fees and interest off the money, then they'll go out of business. So that's their whole business model, right? So they're paying you to bring in customers. You tracking? They paying you to bring in customers. They will do all of the work. They don't care who get credit. It could be P Silent Night 19. It could be JT Automations. It could be John Doe, Jane Doe, Scooby Doo, right? They just know that we need people that want to borrow money and are willing to pay it back over time with interest. They are okay with paying the fees, right? Because we need that money to survive, right? Now, different lending institutions can have money from venture capitalists, angel investors, blah, 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 right? So they have to turn a profit on that money. All right. Peace Silent Night 19. Does it make sense? Or anybody there, if this makes sense, drop a one in the chat. If it's still confusing, tell me what part you don't get. All right. And while you guys are typing, all right, so you stack fees without violating lending laws. You not charging any interest. You earning off of you could get a referral fee from the back end companies. You can get a split of the origination fee. You can get a broker commission. You can get a platform fee. All clean, compliant, scalable, right? I'm not trying to tell you guys to do anything unethical. I don't want you to do nothing that you feel like is breaking the law, right? Because I don't want to have to come bail you out. All right. So, like I said, I had this business built by my business partner, if I'm not mistaken, like 2022. I think it was like 2022. That's why I'm like, I had this business at least 3 years, probably more. Right? Okay, one, yes, it does. All right, cool, 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 cool. And that's fine, right? I probably was explaining it wrong the first time because you guys know I be trying to sound smart, right? I'll be wanting y'all to think that I ain't a country boy from the Carolinas and I be trying to sound a little bit smart, all right? So that's the whole business. But now I'm trying to give you guys details because I know some people might want to know more. And if you have questions, ask questions. But um, you know, I'm going to answer what I think you might want to know to give you a comprehensive understanding. And then I'll go based off of your questions there. And at the end of this call, right, I'm going to bring on or I'm going to introduce you to my business partner because full disclosure, I didn't build this business. I paid someone that became my business partner. They built the entire business for me, right? So I'm just telling you guys what the business is, but I don't believe in getting rich alone. I don't believe in figuring out everything myself, right? You could do everything I'm telling you tonight, and let's say it take you 3, 6, 9 months, a year, 18 months, and you figured it out, right? My business partner that I'm going to introduce you to in 3 days, you're going to have a business. It's up to you. 3 days or 3 months, 6 months, 9. And this is assuming you ever figure it out, which is not guaranteed. All right. So next thing I have on the list here is that you can earn sometimes when deals are declined. I wouldn't bank on this because not every lender does this, and some lenders are moving away from this. But I still want to mention it because I think that it's important to know that it may be possible, but don't jump into this business expecting that to be the okay, now I'm going to do it. All right, because I don't own the lending companies. I own my own lending company that partners on the back end with others, right? And I guess another way to think about it as well too is if you think about Walmart, right? Walmart has their own great value brand, but Walmart may also sell other brands of stuff as well, right? So you might go to Walmart and you might buy all products that are great value, or you might buy all products and none of them are great value, or you might do a mix, right? So is it wrong if Walmart sells you Pampers and all these other brands of stuff and nothing that they created, right? It's not wrong at all. It's convenient. All right, you go in there because you need this, you need that, you got it, you're going. So that's pretty much what you're doing. But I like doing B2B business. So not knocking Walmart, but businesses make decisions based off of return on investment. I don't want to go to an individual and say, hey, you want me to loan you some money? Right? Like, that's sketchy. But what I do want to do is let business owners know if you're a real estate investor and you need funding to do a renovation, to buy more properties, the blah, 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 right? Entrepreneurs, do you need money to hire people, run ads, blah, 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 blah. Aspiring business owners, you got a great idea, but you can't start it with $0, right? You want to start a trucking company, you want to start this business, that business, it take money. Okay, I got a lending company and you can apply. And then if you're approved, boom, we got you started. All right. So you control the borrower experience by doing that. I don't work with individuals at all. Like you're an aspiring business owner, you're a current business owner, or you're a real estate investor. And now you can service whoever you want to service. But to me, right, that's like the sweet spot. All right. Also, with having this business model, you get paid quicker than traditional lending. All right. You can also bundle funding with education. You guys know I gotta do a shameless plug to being a content creator, a mentor, a coach, or whatever. All right. So if you guys want to also educate people on it as well, right? You could say, hey, look, I got a lending business where we can actually lend you money, but understand this: if you got a 1 digit credit score, if you just filed bankruptcy, and if you make $1 a month, who's going to give you $100,000 to start a business? Nobody in their right mind. So maybe before you apply, right? Maybe you already know there's certain things that you got to get together. And what if I show you the fastest way to get your profile together so that way they will lend you the money? So you not wasting your time, you not wasting my time, you not like, you know what I mean, just out here playing like you gonna do business, but let's actually do business. All right, shameless plug though. You guys know I'm gonna always encourage you to, share your message, make content, market. I believe in all of that. So I want all of you all to be active on social media, talking about your brand, talking about your business every single day. That's my bias though, just to be honest with you. All right. You can also create those pre-qualified ecosystems as well. All right. You arbitrage and trust. You can specialize in micro niches. Like I told you guys, I work with real estate investors. I work with, and if you think about it, right? So I've never came on here and said, hey, you guys, if you're a real estate investor, give me money or let me lend you the money. I never said, hey, if you're an entrepreneur, come let me lend you the money for the business. All right. So what I like to do, and you might say that it's wrong, you guys can let me know if I should have done it that way. I like to build businesses that are like independent. So it's cool if I came and all the money we made from the lending business was because of people that follow me on social media. But what happens if you don't like me no more, right? What happens if the algorithm changes or if they block my page, delete my page or whatever, right? So if you guys want me to talk about this more, I can. But like I said, had this business for like 3 years, maybe longer. I don't want to lie to you, but at least 3 years, right? Never said, hey, if you want to borrow some money for your real estate investing business, for your this business or that business, holla at me, right? So I say that to say this, since I did try to encourage you to make content, build an education business, I gotta tell you the other side, which is you don't have to be on social media every day begging people to work with your lending company. All right. So that's real. All right. Um, Now you could go deeper with your micro niches. You might say, I'm only gonna work with non-CDL courier companies that want equipment funding. I'm only gonna work with digital creators or people that sell digital products, but they need ad spend capital, right? They scared to run ads with their own money or they ain't got enough money to run ads. I'ma only work with you if you sell digital products and you need money to run ads. Or I'm only gonna work with churches. And unless you're trying to get money to expand your church, you guys know I'm unapologetically a believer. So I gotta throw that example out there. Unless you coming to get money to expand your church, we specialize in that, right? So the reason why you would do this, because somebody might say, why don't you just do everybody, which you can, but the reason why you might want to do this is because it might be less competition and higher margins for you because of that. And you could become the authority, right? I'm all about being in a category of one. So if you the only business that specializes in helping churches borrow money to expand the church, you the only one that helps digital product salespeople get capital to run their ads for their webinar, 5 day challenge, etc., etc. Right now, you might be the only one in that space. Now, inevitably, what's gonna happen? Somebody gonna say, "Shoot, I could do it too," and they gonna come over. But if you there first, you can go ahead and cut out your little slice of the pie, and now everybody think of you first, right? So here's an example. If somebody tells you in your area, I know it'll be different because there's a lot of different people here. If somebody in your area said, I need internet for my apartment, there's one company that comes to your mind. It might be the company that you're paying for internet now, right? If that person says, man, I got this new apartment, I need to get my lights cut on, right? You would think of one company to refer them to that. All right. They might say, hey, look, man, you know what? I'm trying to go to the best restaurant in the city. What you think is the best restaurant? You might say, well, what kind of food you eat or what you don't eat. Once you hash that out, you thinking of one specific restaurant for that person, right? Imagine if in business, anytime somebody wanted to borrow money to scale their business, to operate their business, to start their business, everybody thought of you because you was there first and you cut out a name for yourself as like, yo, I'm the person you come see when you do this. So that's why you might want a micro niche instead of saying, I get everybody money. Does that make sense? All right. So that's how we do it right there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. See a lot of ones in the chat. Is there a way to email you directly? So my VAs manage my email. Trevor2830, what you need though? Let's talk right here. We live, right? Let's talk right here live. What you need. All right. I do give one-on-one support to people in my community, people that's in my mentorship as needed, right? But you right here live. You got me live now. Let's talk. All right. You ain't even got to wait. Okay. Also, I want to let you know too, when I'm telling you guys you can have partners, I want you to understand the S on partners. I know I got a southern accent. I know I say words wrong all the time, but I really mean partners. You can have one back end partner that you refer all your real estate deals to, somebody else for your equipment loans, somebody else, they deal with people that are startups, right? So they ain't got no money to show that they've been making in their business, right? So, hey, we gonna work with this company right here that work with startups. Another one for revenue-based financing. You hear everybody talking about using no doc loans and revenue-based financing, and they pretty much are going to weigh heavy how much money you been making, even if you don't got a crazy high score or other factors that other institutions may say we not gonna lend to you because of this. All right. So you really, even though you have a single business, whatever you call it, you become a capital marketplace. Does that make sense? All right. So you become a capital marketplace if you want to expand out that far. To each their own. Right. What I eventually want to do, and I'm still debating which niche I want to be in. Right now, like I said, real estate investors, aspiring business owners, current business owners, right? Um, but they already making 6 figures a year. That's just my personal bias, right? No need to go through the whole criteria, but that says an individual already making 6 figures a year. They wanted to start a business. Boom, let's talk about it, right? There's a business already making 6 figures a year. Top line, they could be grossing that, but they not netting it. Cause somebody be like, if you're making 6 figures a year, why you need a loan? Cause that might be gross, but you're not clearing that in profit. That money going right back out. You need more money to expand. Same thing with real estate investors, right? You might top line do 6 figures. That's not what you take home. All right. So we want them to be at top line 6 figures. You may not care, right? But that's just my personal bias. Because I'm also interested in we might just give you the funding or you might be a potential business partner. So, hey, you already making six figures, you successful with, like, I got a partner that do pest control, right? He do six figures a year with his pest control business. Okay, you might want funding to buy more trucks, hire drivers, expand your pest control company, but yo, boom, what if we do a partnership? All right, I got an idea for Pure Pod. You guys remember the Pure Pod episode we did, right? So, hey, I got an idea for a pest control product. What you think about it? You want to partner on it? Let's work this out as well, right? So, to me, right, I'm unapologetically an entrepreneur. So, I'm putting all of the cards on the table and letting you guys know. All right, so that's why I like, hey, if you already making six figures a year, cool, because, and it's not always the case, but it might make sense for us to be partners. All right. So you could turn deals into recurring relationships like that. You can avoid some compliance nightmares and you can automate the entire process from the leads to the qualification to the matching to the submissions, the fundings, the payouts, everything, right? Can happen on autopilot. All right. If you want to, you could charge a premium for speed. You can upsell equity. You could turn your audience, if you decide to go the social media route, into a ecosystem for that. Anytime they need money, right? You create your own private community. All right. So, and of course, you could productize the business in a million other different ways. All right. So you can finance just your community and make people join the community if they want to work with a financing company and they pay a monthly fee just to have like that premier service. Like anybody here got the American Express platinum or higher card. We pay every year just to say we got a card, whether we use it or not, right? So if you wanted to do like a premier luxury service, you could run a play like that. Okay, I've rambled for a long time. I'm going to see if there's any questions, but before I even take your questions, it's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. There's a link underneath this video wherever you're watching it at. Right now, my business partner is joining a Zoom, and I'm going to end this call immediately after this live stream, and I'm going to go join that Zoom with her. And what she's going to do is show you guys all of the fancy parts of the business and the setup, stuff that country boys from Carolinas don't know, don't understand. So, like I told you guys, like I didn't set up the business myself. I heard about it, talked with her. Okay, cool. Like, will you just set it up for me? So she set it up for me, went over everything with me. This is how it works. Blah 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 blah. Boom. All right, up and running. Like I said, you could do it yourself. You chat GBT, Google, whatever, you know what I mean? But if you want to actually hear from her and partner with her, like she's open to partnerships as well, and I don't gatekeep. So it's one thing for me to tell you the information, but now let's keep it a buck. Who else on social media is saying, hey, this is my business partner that did it for me? So click the link underneath this video and join that Zoom. And if you guys can't get in yet, she might not be letting people in until I'm there. So give me a second to get over there. Let me answer these questions real fast though, because then I'm gonna be over there. Boom. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Cool. All right. Trevor, send a text message to 202-601-9347. All right. And a member of my team will text you back. Just copy and paste what you said over there. My VA will see it. Well, my VA is in the Philippines. So yeah, we'll talk about it, right? We'll see if we can help you. But my VA will see that and then we'll go from there. All right. Okay, cool. So that's it. That's in a nutshell. So my experience has been good. So having a lending business, I don't got a license, right? I ain't went to school for lending. I don't even know all of the technical parts of it. You don't even gotta know that, right? I think and some people will never share this, which is why it was on my heart to do it. I think that sometimes people will try to like impress you with saying I own this business and that business and make you feel like they way smarter than you. And like I'm just against that. So I'm the guy that's gonna come and just make people mad because why you telling all the secrets? So the secret is you can have a lending business without lending any of your own money and without having a license, and you can operate in all 50 states, and you can average, not saying you will because I can't say how much money you'll make, it's up to you and your business, average 20 to 30K a month. If you want to meet my business partner, she's in a Zoom room right now, and I gotta go over there and meet her, so that way we can get started on this. So if you got any other questions, join me over there. If you're watching this video after the fact and it's not between like 8:30 Eastern Standard Time and 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on what is today's date, January the 8th, 2026, I'll drop another link. It'll be for the Telegram group. You missed it, and you can catch the next announcements anytime we got like a party going on like this. But for whoever's here and whoever's seeing this, and it's within that window of time before 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching after the fact, come over there. Right now it's 8:33 p.m. when I'm saying this. So I'll see you guys over there in just a second. All right. So I love you. God love you. If hey, for those of y'all that run with the information, run with it, make a ton of money. You don't owe me jack. I just want you to win. If you want my business partner to be your business partner, click the Zoom link. Be over there in a second. Peace.